This is far too little calories for her body. Sure, it's enough calories for, say, an 8-year-old active child.
And now it's lunchtime.
Oh no, she has the hensies in there. She's got one menstruation.
When you eat your fruit with something that has fat in there, it helps you to like balance out your blood sugar. Because sometimes when you just eat the fruit, it like spikes your blood sugar up, and then when it goes down, you get really hungry again. Also,
No.
so I finally get to try HelloFresh.
Oh,
I've seen it so many.
Is there not one person left on YouTube who is not sponsored by HelloFresh? Hey free woman. So today's video is in reply to Romee's What I Eat in a Day as a Model video that she did recently. The video has had over 3.6 million views in a very short time, and mostly from young women, so she has a huge influence. So if you don't know who Romee is a Victoria's Secret supermodel. You know how I feel about this whole Victoria's Secret angel rubbish, but anyway, I'll make a separate video on it. Anyway, she's someone that we have been taught to be jealous of in this culture, because she fits the ideal, cultural definition of beautiful. But look, I must admit, she is an impressive specimen. So Romee was scouted by a modelling agency at 13, and now she is 24. Which, yes, makes her young enough to be my daughter. I could be her mother if I had her like 15 years old. Anyway, beside the point, but she's also very tall. She's 5'11". She weighs around 117 pounds or 53 kilos, about the same weight as me, but I'm 5'5.5", so I'm much, much shorter. So Romee just hit over 1 million subscribers on her YouTube, and she's approaching 6 million followers on her Instagram. So Romee has said in recent videos that she had a coffee addiction, and she was having up to 7 cups per day.
Coffee. I'm trying to drink way less coffee than I used to, because I would drink 5 to 7 coffees a day.
That is an incredible amount of caffeine, and after looking at a What I Eat in a Day video, I can understand why. But apparently she has swapped to matcha tea, which has as much caffeine as a standard coffee, so she has swapped one vice for another. Don't be fooled. Caffeine is not healthy. It's a weakness. It is not good for you to have it in your bloodstream. And if you want to see a video all about caffeine, let us know in the comments. Also, hold out to the end of the video as I add up all of Romee's calories and macros, and I also discuss her potassium intake. Okay, let's get into the video.
Easy, simple recipe to make at home. So let's do it.
Okay, 8 a.m. morning drink.
So I always start my day with the hot water with lemon. It has a lot of vitamin C, and it's just really refreshing in the morning. Whenever I eat this, or drink this actually, it just gives me like a healthy feeling. So I kind of think it helps me with like the mindset for the rest of the day. And I just squeeze half a lemon in hot water. I also think it's really good for your digestion. So when you drink it on an empty stomach, it like kickstarts your digestion.
Okay, so starting the day with hot water and lemon juice is a popular one. It is so popular on YouTube and amongst models, but it doesn't actually have much supporting science. What lemon juice can do is irritate the colon, like give a mild laxative effect and induce a bowel movement. That's what it can do. And Romee is likely having this because she thinks it speeds up her metabolism. This is a very common misbelief. It doesn't. And because it helps her poop, as she may have constipation. Yes, it may help her poop. So that is likely the reason that she's having it. These are 2 of the biggest reasons why women start the day with this combination. It does not cleanse the body or do anything miraculous. So you're really just better off starting the day with plain water. It is healthier, but it's not the end of the world. But I just wanted to iron out that myth,
Then I just sit on the couch for like 20 minutes and I just check my phone and I sip on this water, because it's good to like let it sit for like 15-20 minutes before you have your breakfast.
That's because she is waiting for it to initiate a bowel movement. That's why she's waiting. Okay, 8:30, breakfast.
So now it's time for breakfast, and as you guys know, it's my favorite part of the day. Like when I lay in bed, I just look forward to my breakfast.
She's hungry. That's good. She's really, really hungry. I mean, like a lot of us look forward to breakfast, but after you'll see with this video, she is definitely hungry, so she'll be looking forward to it even more. The ingredients looks great. It looks quite good. I'm going to talk about it more.
So we're going to make oatmeal, and I'm going to show you guys how I make it. So we're going to start with measuring 40 grams of oats.
By the way, before we move on, if you want to see more of these videos, make sure you actually vote on them. As I always say, it doesn't matter if it's up or down. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You just do you, boo. Just don't be an inactive spud and sit on the couch and not vote. All right, so what we notice here is that Romee is measuring her food intake because She has to. She has to restrict her calories because of the way she is eating in order to stay super slim like she is, which is of course vital as a supermodel. And I've even heard that it's in their contracts to stay a certain size. There is just so much pressure on them. So that's why she's measuring her food and restricting her calorie intake.
I'm gonna put it in here. Then the next step, I always put half a banana, but you can also put the whole one. It depends on how...
girlfriend, half a banana. Come on, put the whole thing in there. Bananas are so healthy. Don't ever restrict them. And on a potassium side note, the average American adult is potassium deficient. They're not getting anywhere near the minimum requirement of intake of potassium, 4,700 milligrams per day. And back in the day, we were getting something like 11,000 milligrams, and I'm probably getting over that at this point, and I'm super healthy as a result of that. And I'm going to talk more about potassium later on. So the best foods to eat for potassium are plant foods, of course, but you can add, say, 7 bananas to your diet, your current diet that you're eating now, and you're probably going to cover your potassium needs. But upping the potassium is actually a really effective weight loss strategy, as the increased potassium helps flush out the excess sodium and water weight from your body. It helps regulate that sodium-potassium balance. And this is, a big part of the reason that I stay lean so easily without effort. And speaking of staying lean, the lifestyle that I follow in order to have basically a Victoria's Secret's body at almost 40 for the past 10 years is a high fruit and raw till 4 lifestyle. I'm not doing any excessive exercise. I'm not having coffee or anything like that. So this is a lifestyle that is going to bring you fantastic results. I've lost over 40 pounds on this lifestyle, and the results just keep coming, keeps getting better and better and better. And there's so many recipes, 30-day meal planner. So definitely check it out. The link is in the description below to my weight loss books, ebooks. They are very valuable, and it's full of testimonials. All right, Romee, the banana girl, wants to see the full banana in there next time.
And then I'm gonna mash it in this little bowl. Okay, the next step is I'm gonna add some hot water in here. You can also put some almond milk or oat milk, whatever you like. I just like water, and then...
Who really just likes water though? For me, it's quite clear that she's adding water because she can save on calories. This is obvious to me, and a trick I used to do myself as a non-vegan. It's just a way to save calories.
Then it's done. So I put the oatmeal in here, and I just like oatmeal so much because it's really high in fiber and it has a lot of good carbs, so it keeps me full so long, until lunchtime.
I love it too. I love oats too. I used to eat them for breakfast for years, but once I swapped to fruit and fruit smoothies, there was no going back because the lightness. I just felt so much lighter eating smoothies, having smoothies or fruit first thing rather than oats. It just felt so much heavier. So, I just had this massive increase in energy. But I do love oats as well, and I approve of them for sure. Okay, so this is what we have so far.
So when you eat it with fruit, it really helps. And then last but not least, my favorite peanut butter.
Oh, she's excited about this one. She's excited about the peanut butter.
One from Hawaii that I've showed you guys before. So it's really hard to get anywhere. But also normal peanut butter would work, or almond butter, any butter, because I feel like it's a really nice source of protein and it just makes it super tasty. Okay, now it's...
Okay, so when it comes to the nut butters, okay, I'm not a huge fan of the nut butters. Occasionally it's okay, but starting the day with peanut butter, it's a really high source of fat, okay? And yes, I know it's yummy, but we are high carb creatures. I know it's an unpopular opinion to say that, but it's actually true. So it's better to start your day with high carb rather than high fat if you want high energy levels. And this is part of the reason that Romee reaches for stimulants like coffee or matcha tea throughout the day, because she needs that energy kick. She's not getting enough calories from carbohydrates. And by the way, where is the coffee? Where is the matcha tea? We know she would have had some by now, but she's not showing it, which I think is a little strange. And maybe this day she's not having it, but most days I'm sure she would have some sort of stimulant because, she was having up to 7 cups a day not that long ago. By the way, if you want a video on good fats, then let us know in the comments, because there is a bunch of pseudoscience regarding good fats and how much we need on YouTube.
And I just think breakfast is really important for me, because I feel like when I have a good breakfast, I just have fuel for the whole day. Well, not for the whole day, of course, but especially for the beginning of the day. And today's the day that it's weekend, we're hanging with the babies because we're in Holland right now. And then I think this afternoon we're probably going to do a quick workout.
So that's important to remember as well. She's going to do a quick workout, okay? So she needs extra calories. Remember that she is 5'11". She's around 53 kilos, you know, so just keep that in mind as we go forward. And I agree with her. Eating breakfast is super important, and that's why it should be the biggest meal of the day. And I generally have about 800 to 1,000 calories just for breakfast. And Romee's breakfast here is around 400 calories. So I would recommend that Romee has a bare minimum of 600 calories. Okay, so we are on to 11 a.m. a snack. But didn't she say that? So she did say that the breakfast would keep her full until lunchtime, I thought, but she is having a snack now at 11 a.m. And I'm not surprised at all because it was too small. Her breakfast was too small and needed more carbohydrates. But I'm approving of this breakfast. I really am. I would just recommend to have less fat, more carbohydrates, get the smoothie bowl in, but not have the nut butter first thing in the morning.
Okay, it's snack time. And I'm that kind of person that loves to eat 5 to 6 times a day because otherwise I just get hangry. So it's 11 now.
That's why you just eat more at each meal time. Eat more, and then you're not going to have to snack as much in between, and it's way more convenient than having a snack all the time.
And I felt like some fruit, so I'm doing strawberries, and I love to pair it with almonds. I love to combine it with almonds because when you eat your fruit with something that has fat in there, it helps you to like balance out your blood sugar. Because sometimes when you just eat the fruit, it like spikes your blood sugar up, and then when it goes down, you get really hungry again.
Also, no. Okay. That is not actually correct. Okay, so this is simply not true, that combining fruit and high-fat foods helps prevent spikes to your blood sugar levels. When you do this kind of combo often enough, you actually overwork and exhaust your pancreas that is producing insulin. You know, fruit, it's a whole food. It's a whole food that includes blood sugar regulating fiber. So the sugar actually enters the bloodstream at a healthy rate, so you get this natural rise and fall. You know, it's natural for it to rise and fall. But on the contrary, when you combine a higher fat food like nuts with a low fat food like strawberries, you just make it difficult for insulin to transport the glucose or sugar from the bloodstream and into the cell. So this is where the irony comes in, that this actually causes elevated blood sugar levels. This is not hard to test. It's not hard to test either. You can just test it with a glucose meter. Obviously, if her theory was correct, then I would have full-blown diabetes by now after 12 years of having massive fruit meals. But of course I don't, because it's simply not true. And if you want to see me disprove this theory by using a glucose meter, then tell me in the comments and I will plan to do it. I will prick my finger and I will get my blood sugar reading after having a massive fruit meal. We are talking about a fat metabolism problem here. So it's important to make that point.
Also, a little side note, I'm not a nutritionist and this is just how I eat, and definitely not every day like everyone else. But yeah, this is just the stuff that I like.
Romee, you are giving advice to your audience and you are confusing them by giving them misinformation. So you just have to keep that in mind. You may not be a nutritionist or a nutrition expert or anything like that, but you are giving advice to like millions and millions of girls, which is incorrect, and it's actually going to make it harder for them to be healthy and to reach an optimal weight. So just keep that in mind in future. So her snack was about 180 calories, so we're up to about like 580 calories by 1 p.m. lunchtime, which isn't a lot.
So I just came back from a walk with the babies in the park, and now it's lunchtime.
Oh no, she has the hensies in there. She's got one menstruation. That's a real, you know, super disappointing. Okay, she's got sourdough bread. Okay, that's carbohydrate. We're happy about that. Avocado. Okay, it's healthy. It's a lot of fat, but it's still healthy. Hummus, pepper. Everything else is pretty fine. You know, it might be one egg, sure, it's not much, but it's still an egg that has caused the death of innocent baby chicks, and Romee seems like a nice person. She seems like a nice person who wouldn't want to be responsible for such pain and suffering. And it's also not a health food, and it's not good for energy levels. But anyway, let's go on.
I'm going to show you guys how I make my avocado toast when I'm home. And I just love it so much because every time I eat avocado, it makes me feel super satisfied because it has a lot of fats in there.
Okay, so fat isn't actually super satisfying for the human brain because we actually run on glucose and carbohydrates. It's no secret, just open up any good physiology, biology, anatomy, you know, textbook, and you're going to find information on this. So it's not exactly fat making you satisfied. It is higher in calories per bite, yes, but the satisfaction comes from the carbohydrates.
And I just like oatmeal so much because it's really high in fiber and it has a lot of like good carbs, so it keeps me full so long, like until lunchtime.
Avocados are amazing and yummy, I love them, but it's not exactly a big energy hit as far as like glucose goes.
Then I put a little bit of the other half of the avocado over my hummus. It's a really nice combination because I try to eat not too much eggs and meats, but I still have a hard time like not eating it at all.
Oh, I'm glad that she admitted that. And the reason that she's having a hard time giving up the animal products is due to not eating enough carbohydrates, which is the brain and the body's #1 fuel source. So she obviously also hasn't educated herself on the ethics behind why she shouldn't eat animals and their secretions. So there is no moral ties there at all. So Romee, please educate yourself on the ethics of not eating animals. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Just don't eat living creatures. They don't want to be eaten. They have a family. They want to live their own life. There's the final product. Look at that big hensy. I don't know why anyone would want to eat them. They are super unhealthy. They're very unethical. And I feel like Romee is going to get them out of her life real soon because she's going to educate herself. I have faith in her. I definitely have faith because she seems like an intelligent, compassionate woman. This meal is about 530 calories.
So it's snack time and I love for my snack to be less sugary. It's because it's starting to become the end of the day and it really helps to keep your blood sugars a little bit more down at the end of the day. Otherwise you get cravings later at night.
What?
So I'm gonna go...
No. What are you talking about? That is again incorrect. The reason you're getting cravings is you're just simply not getting enough calories in general, and especially carbohydrates. Honestly, she is very confused. She's very confused. Eating like this is why you get cravings. Eating this little is why you get cravings later. It doesn't help you prevent them. You are reducing your brain's fuel source, which is carbohydrates, glucose. It's simple physiology. In a healthy state, the human body and brain runs on glucose. So if you restrict those calories, you will get cravings. That's what happens. You will get cravings. That's why she is struggling to stay away from stimulants like caffeine and matcha tea. This is the reason, because she is undereating, and especially undereating on carbohydrates. Make the connection.
And I also make myself some tea and I'm just gonna enjoy my snack now.
Okay, so I'm not sure what the tea is. I don't think it's a matcha tea. I think matcha tea is like green tea. It might be just like a normal tea. It may also have caffeine in it. I'm not too sure, but this is a very small snack. This is about like 70 calories or so, under 100 calories. I would recommend a smoothie instead, or some fruit to get some real glucose in, because that is going to help prevent cravings later on and binges later on and stimulant, desire for stimulants in the coming days. Gotta get the fruit sugar in.
So I finally get to try HelloFresh. I've seen it
HelloFresh.
so many times, but now we've been home for a little bit because...
Is there not one person left on YouTube who is not sponsored by HelloFresh? I don't think there's anyone left, except me. I'm the only one left who hasn't been sponsored by HelloFresh. She's like, oh, I've been looking forward to trying it. I'm like, have you really? You probably got a very sweet deal from HelloFresh.
Finally try it out. And they have all these different recipes where you can pick from. I think they have family size, calorie smart.
Calorie smart is this calorie restriction, which is probably the one she's having.
Today,
Okay, so here's the list. Ugh, what a shame. There is a bunch of solidified bovine secretion here, aka cow's milk, via the cheese and the yogurt. Again, Romee doesn't seem like the type to support such cruelty. Like, imagine she saw the baby cows being ripped away from their mothers after birth so she can have her cheese. The cows were ripped away just so she can have her cheese. Do you think she's going to be like, yeah, okay, I approve of that, give me my cheese? No way, she's going to be like, that's horrible, I don't want to support that, okay, I won't eat cheese because this is where it comes from. This is what happens, this is what I'm supporting. So it's just a real lack of education. Please, Romee, educate yourself.
And it's something that I think I really like. It also has some rice on the side. So I'm super excited.
Rice. That's great to have the rice. Good. Brown rice.
I hope Lawrence is gonna like it too. So everything is pre-measured, what is great.
I feel like she would like the pre-measured. She would definitely like the pre-measured because You know, she can track her calories more easily, and I'm not giving her crap about that. She has a lot of pressure on her, but what I'm saying is she doesn't actually have to eat that way. She doesn't have to calorie restrict, but because she's still eating animal products, she's still eating the way she is, she has to really restrict her calories in order to be as slim as she is. Like I said, I am as slim as I am. I'm eating as many calories as I want. I'm not doing any restriction, no caffeine, anything like that. So Romee can also get similar results in time once she probably has a rebound because of all the dieting that she's done. But yeah, that's an important point to make, okay? The pre-measured packs are really like when I had my eating issues in the past, I was all about the pre-measured packs and, you know, looking at the labels, how many calories each serve has and all of that. And it's just real, like, so annoying to constantly worry about that.
I'm gonna put some olive oil in here and then mix it with the seasoning that we got, ras al hanu.
You know, when it comes to olive oil, like, I don't go out of my way to add it to my food. No way, okay? Because it lines the bloodstream with fat, okay? It's just 100% refined fat, so you're not getting a lot of benefit out of it. You're just sludging up your bloodstream. You're making it hard for the glucose, the sugar, for the insulin to escort the sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cell. That's what happens. So you've got to remember that, and it can elevate your blood sugar. When you do actually then have some sugar or have some fruit, you've still got that oil sludge in there, and it elevates your blood sugar level. So that's important to remember, and that's why I don't have a lot of oil, but sometimes I do when I go out. I'm not like crazy, you know, about it, like, oh, you know, I can't have one tiny bit of oil. No, but adding it to my food, I do not do, because it's just a whole lot of like unnecessary fat calories as well, which get stored as fat. So it's, you know, no point. Doesn't taste a lot either.
To cut the pomegranate.
She looks really out of place. She was really out of place with this pomegranate.
Because we need the seeds. So I have to say, it's a little bit of a work to get the seeds out. There must be an easier way to get this out.
There is actually a better way to do it. Okay, there's an underwater method which we use, so you can definitely look that up. Getting out the seeds underwater is much more effective. There's a little trick, look it up on YouTube.
Maybe I'll let Lawrence do this. And not to forget the feta on top of the eggplant. Then we're gonna put some of the rice on the plate. Add some of our pumpkin and sunflower seeds. And then we garnish it with some mint. So I also wanted to share with you guys.
Okay, so this dinner is about 400 calories, roughly 400 calories, and high in fat, but I'm definitely happy to see some rice and vegetable in there. I think that is great. Okay, she is doing well. She can do better, but she is doing well. You know, I'm also happy to see that she didn't eat animals throughout her day. Although she did have eggs and dairy, which has been called liquid meat because it's just as unhealthy and cruel to animals. You know, Romee, please educate yourself on the origin of your food, because I know you would be horrified if you found out. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Let's say Romee did eat all of the food she presented in the video. The fact is, we don't know if she did or not. We don't know. But let's just say she did. She would get a bit under 1,700 calories for the day. This is far too little calories for her body. Sure, it's enough calories for, say, an 8-year-old active child, but Romee's basal metabolic rate, which means the amount of calories she's burning just by resting, you know, if she laid in bed all day, that amount of calories is 1,500 calories for Romee. So, and she's also active. So she needs at least 2,200 to 2,400 calories or more a day. So at the moment, she is risking nutrient deficiencies and training her body to store fat rather than burn fat. And she is setting herself up for continued addiction to stimulants and laxatives. So important to make that connection. Okay, if you are eating only slightly over your basal metabolic rate, then you are setting yourself up for a big binge later on and failure. So these are estimates based on what she has shown, but roughly she is getting around 43% fat, 45% carbs, and around 12% protein for the day. She's also getting around 3,150 grams of potassium. So she's getting far too little carbohydrates and far too much fat for optimal energy levels, weight maintenance, like I'm living example of this, and just overall health. So I would recommend that she increases to over 65% or more of her daily calories from carbohydrates, and then the other macros are just going to naturally fall into place. As I said earlier, the RDI for potassium is 4,700 milligrams per day for adults, and she's falling short of like 1,550 grams, so she could definitely up her potassium intake. And, you know, potassium has interestingly been called the anti-aging mineral. And as stated earlier, it is great to increase your potassium levels as far as weight loss goes because it helps flush the excess sodium out of your body and you can maintain a healthy potassium sodium balance. But when you don't have enough potassium, you're going to have more sodium and it's just going to be way out of whack. And that's another reason why I am maintaining my weight so easily, eating all this potassium, eating all this carbs, all this sugar. You know, that is one of the reasons. So Romee, I would love to coach you on Raw Till 4. Hit me up, sister, or even any high carb vegan lifestyle. Okay, go high carb because it's going to make you feel and look your best and you can eat so much volume for the amount of calories. So much more volume than eating high fat foods. I mean, who doesn't want that? You get to eat more volume for less calories. It's basically every model's dream. So girl, let us know. I'm here. Hit me up. I'm ready to coach you. Okay, so that is my video for today. I hope it was informative. Due to YouTube trying to silence this channel, I've decided to start a second channel, The Women's Weight Loss Expert. And the first video is going to be a Stephanie Buttermore breakdown. So hang out for that one. And I'm also going to make keto diet videos, debunking the keto diet. So it's going to be a great channel. It's going to be a little bit more in depth, a little bit more science. So I'm going to let you know as soon as that's set up. But if you want to join the Queen Bee group, definitely check it out. There's a join button. It's a VIP group where we are going to the next level, where I put my what I eat videos, showing what I eat, doing vision booking and other fun stuff. So definitely check it out. The join button next to the subscribe button. And I might see you in there, the VIP Queen Bees. And don't forget my weight loss manuals. The link is in the description below. Okay, I will see you free women next video. See you soon.